Hi. I'm trying to sit here thinking of what to say that I haven't heard others say various ways that wouldn't just sound like a repetition of it. Because I agree with everything everyone said, and that's more than obvious, you know. I mean, a 65th anniversary is a pretty major milestone. I think one time, Mom, close your ears, don't listen to this, but I remember one time I asked Dad how he felt about being celebrated, I think it was the 60th anniversary, and he says, it's not natural for a man to be stuck with one woman for 60 years. So I can only imagine that he's upped it by 5. But that's not the truth. And the truth is that I have one scene in my mind that I mean, it's burned there forever for me. And Dad was in the hospital. Dad, you were in the hospital, and I was down in Tampa with Mom. And we were trying to fix the door of her car, I think, but we drove to the hospital, and when we arrived, you were asleep. And I watched Mom. She sat down, put the purse on the floor, and she took your hand, and she held your hand between her two, and sat there for that. And I knew it was painful to her. I knew it was painful for her back, the way she was leaning over. But she didn't feel the pain. It was very clear in her face. I was watching her. She had her eyes fixed on your face, and didn't take her eyes off of your face. And I guess you sensed her, because you started to awake, and you open your eyes, and you close them for a second, and then when you realized who it was, you open them again. And your face broke into a small smile. And what was really neat at that moment was Mom's face lit up as soon as she saw you, and she put on a huge grin, and her whole face smiled. And when her face smiled, your eyes lit up. And it was so obvious to me, just watching the two of you in your eyes, that that love is so terribly deep, that I don't think it is a matter of what's natural or not. I think that's more than apparent that the love is that deep. So what I'm thinking about is kind of like not so much what you have between you as to the effort that you've put into instilling that same sense of what's really important to your children. And it's passed on more, it's more than apparent, and it will be apparent to you when you see, or I guess by now at this point in the tape you will have already seen it, because this is the tail end. It's more than apparent from everything you've seen just how much that love has now infiltrated your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and it's clear. It's a matter of exponents. At this point it's going to go on, and that's the legacy. There was something else I was going to say, but I think it slipped my mind already. Just go ahead and pause that a second, okay? Got it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, the other thing was your famous expression, Dad, it's only money. And in school, I remember one time they told us not to use the word only. It was in broadcasting. They said, don't use the word only unless it's really appropriate, because it's otherwise a put down. Like you say, there were only women in the room. That's not a nice thing to say. Only is a put down. And in the case of money, it's only money puts it down, because that's where it belongs. It isn't the big factor that people make it. And that begs the question then, if money isn't that important, what really is? So it comes down to what really is the values that are in our hearts, and what we do with them, and what we show of them, and how we share them, and how we give them away. So those are great lessons, but you've already heard all that from all these others, so all I can do is say thank you. Thanks for the lessons, because I'm glad you put them there, because I wouldn't have gotten them otherwise. And I'm very, very thankful, because I know in my children's case it's been passed on to them. I know it's the best thing I could ever give them. It's going to carry them a lifetime. And I believe they're going to pass it on to their children as well. So it was a good choice you made as to what values to push on, and which ones you selected and said, these are the things that we want to impart and make sure go on. Good choices. Thanks for the choices. I'm glad we paid attention, and I'm glad I was in school that day. So happy anniversary to you, happy 65th, and let's do this again in another even 10 years. We'll do your 75th anniversary. But then again, it's just not natural for a man to be with a woman for 75 years. Anyway, good luck.
Dad, I wanted to wish you a happy anniversary. It's a very special one for you, a 65th. About 15 years ago, I recall we had a very special one too, and that was your 50th. I'm sorry I'm not with you at this time to celebrate this time in your life, but sometimes your timing and workloads and schedules just can't be met. But I want you to know I'm thinking about you, as I am always, not just for your anniversary. And I wish you both well, and I hope you're feeling fine. I hope you have a great day with your anniversary and night. I just want to thank you for being my mom and dad. Probably at this point in time, almost as much as my mother was, if not that much. You've been an inspiration to me. You've been there when I needed you. So, what else can I say? Except I love you. and take care and give each other a hug and a kiss on your anniversary. I love you.
Nice enough to come down while I'm working and so that I could say that I love you and happy anniversary, and to put a few words, I guess, on tape. I just wanted to say thank you for being such a big influence on my life, because I had the honor of living near you as I grew up, and so many of my memories, whether they're religious ceremonies or just family get-togethers, involve you, and times we spent together in Florida. And in fact, you guys came all the way up to see my graduation. That was like the biggest gift in the world to me. And I just wanted to say how much I love you, honor you, respect you, and I feel the impact of your love through my father and by talking to you every day of my life. I wish I had actually planned something to say, because I sound like horrible right now, but I just can't thank you enough for all the lessons in life that you have taught me, and I look forward to all the words of wisdom you can give me for the rest of my life. I love you and I miss you, and I wish you all the best, and congratulations on your 65th anniversary. Love you.
Well, you've touched a part of me, and sometimes when I look at you when you were younger, like in pictures, and people say I look like you, that's an honor. And because they don't say that about anybody else. And Papa, you taught me how to bowl, and what else? I don't know. You guys taught me what family is, and that's really important. I don't remember as much because I was younger. I was always the baby, but I do know, even just looking through pictures, that you guys took an enormous amount of your time just to come to. I saw there was a little thing where I was probably like 4 years old, and I'm like on stage and I'm all dressed up and I'm probably singing like "Someone's in the Kitchen with Dinah." I think that's what it was, and you were there. And you know, that's just remarkable that you came all the way over there just to watch me do something that probably lasted 5 minutes, and then you had to watch the whole rest of the show for like an hour. But you did that because it made me smile. And then if you look, you see Susie being held while I'm sitting up there, and you know, you were holding her just so that she was happy. You know, and you only did that just to make us happy. You know, and maybe that made you happy. So, I don't know. That just shows how strong your love for us is, that it could motivate you, you know, to come all the way over there. I think that was really special. And I think that, okay, today being your 65th anniversary, I do think that's an honor. And both of you should look at each other and think that you're really lucky to meet each other and be able to, I can't, I don't know why I'm crying. I just think you're really lucky to find somebody that, out of all the millions of people in the world, that you could find each other and stay together for 65 years. And I'm not even 20 yet, 65 years, you know, just to be with one person and know they're always there when you come home. I just think that you're really lucky to have that. And I'm really glad that you guys could give all that love to all of us throughout our whole family. And even though the Wolf family is really weird, we have a lot of love. And you guys made that possible. So I want to thank you on your anniversary. I love you. That's it.